Alright, well, I'm David.
And I'm Wayne.
And it's the second episode of the series we're making, a short documentary about the making of a woman, which is a theatrical production we're putting on at two
venues.
Exactly.
Yeah, Newcastle Theatre Royal Educational Space and indeed the fantastic Washington Arts Centre, which has just undergone a refurb.
And we've already done the Newcastle one, which is what we're going to talk about today.
That's right, we are
And the day got off to an interesting start, and I think it's easier just to show you the first piece of footage that we created for this show, so we'll go straight to that.
Oh hi, you've just caught us going through the final stages of the Making of a Woman script, the story of Robert Coulthard. It's been a long process. As you've seen before, we did the auditions, we had some great success and some really talented people turn up. Unfortunately, we've had a few of those people who we cast in major roles walk away, but a lot of our first choices have remained, which we're incredibly excited about. And we've had some new people join us too since the audition, including Joe and Ginny, who indeed you may see some material by tonight and when we perform in Washington. So I'm here now at Newcastle's historic Theatre Royal on 100 Grey Street, and we're getting ready for what should be a very memorable performance. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to welcoming you if you're going to be part of the audience as well later on. So places, I think. Let's go.
Right, and there you go. That's that. Now you'll notice that Wayne mentions that we got some new actors because we lost other actors. But actually we kind of lost more actors on the day after we actually created that piece of footage.
Yeah, that's right. We lost a few.
And
we had, I mean, without going into names or playing the blame game, we lost quite a few.
Exactly.
And when we turned up on the day at the Newcastle Educational Space, I was first at the venue. And my kind of thought at that moment was, I really hope that somebody turns up. Because at that point, at 10 o'clock that morning, I didn't know that anyone was going to turn up.
I know. The thing is, you kind of understand because obviously we unfortunately, due to some issues getting the script, we were unable to give it to them until...
Yeah, we'd originally, obviously, as covered in episode 1, which I'd subsequently forgotten since, we had indeed promised them the script 6 weeks before the Newcastle performance. That did not happen. For one reason or another, again, I won't get into it, it's a little bit complicated. We didn't actually it's very complicated because we didn't give them the script until 4 days before the first performance. At least we didn't make it public until then. And although there were certain parts of the script that had been made available to me before that point, I felt, well, if I give an uncompleted script, it could change. And as well as that, it is already building momentum for something that may not have an end in sight. So it was a kind of a shaky process. And of course, with me being away working on other projects at the time, that also meant it was just crazy.
It was. And the thing is, this is why the actors, when they did the performance, did so well. Because, I mean, this is a theatre production. Normally you get the script like 3 months before. We promised them 6 weeks, which is fine. Then we actually don't give them it the 4 days. So this is where like our worries kind of came from on the day.
Well, in fairness, normally your agent FedExes things like that out to you 3 months in advance. You know, and a courier brings it around. Whereas in our case, it was, oh, the script. Yeah, I've got the script. It's in my car. I'll just get it now, you know.
Well, what we're going to do is now, I'm going to quickly let you have a look around the venue, which was a very nice venue.
It was a lovely venue. I absolutely love this venue. It wasn't the greatest choice of shirt on my half. I look at this video and I absolutely hate the fact that I wore this outfit. I am a total slave to fashion, maybe, as far as that's concerned. But the venue, I can't fault the venue. It was a beautiful venue.
All right, so let's have a look around.
Hey, so welcome to the Theatre Royal. I thought before you saw the performance you'd like to take a quick tour of the venue. So let's start with this room. We might as well strike while the iron is hot. This is the main foyer area where the performance will be held. Right now there are some tables and chairs for the table read and some of the workshops that we're doing prior to tonight's performance. But you'll also get a good idea of where the audience are going to be sitting as they watch us perform and the backdrop for that. So as we come across here,
as you can see, the marvellous backdrop here that they provided us, which will hopefully get some canvases of different backdrops of like North Shields and Liverpool and other places that the actual events of our play take place. We've also got this magnificent table set up. Got some mints there as well for people. Just basically to get everyone together to have a bit of a read of the script when they do arrive, and they will be arriving shortly, so we better make our tour brief. These actors are a superstitious bunch. I don't want to spook anyone by having you guys in here already, you know, they might be a bit, okay? So, we've got this lovely area which you can see. The pillars are actually the main support to the Theatre Royal. What you've got above us is pretty much the main stage of the Theatre Royal. So you've got this beautiful historic stage, literally about 20 feet, if not less, from where we're standing. So over here, strictly no entry, Theatre Royal staff only. However, we've given special permission to let you see. This is the store cupboard, which houses a number of costumes, and it goes all the way back there. It's fairly extensive. Come on in. I have to duck down, of course, and it's at a weird angle, but as you can see, there's loads of stuff, and at the end you can even spy, if you're very good with the eyesight, you can even spy a game of Operation, which we might even get everyone to have later on as a kind of a lovely building exercise to get people to trust each other. Not that they don't. Let's put that out now, I think. Okay, so that's basically our cupboards. So next we're going to go upstairs and have a look at technical. So here we are at technical. Right above where we've just been at the store cupboard is where a lot of the magic happens from a technical standpoint. Behind me you can see some of the coloured screens for different light displays, and that's part of some of the technical wizardry that we'll be employing. You can also see, I'm sure I'm allowed to show you this, this pretty cool disco ball. We do not have a disco scene, but if we did, we would surely use it. So what you're basically looking at as well is the entire technical hub. The lights all along this corridor, and then what you see behind is the desks. The sound desk, the lighting desk, and of course the monitor hookup for the PC, and a number of other things. And this is where our technicians will be tonight to make sure that this goes ahead with the smoothest of professionalities. That was really important to us when we started off doing this project. It was really important to stage it somewhere in a professional production house. We thought that anyone can just stage this in a car park or in a back alley or in somebody's front living room, but we wanted, really for the purposes of the bid and of course for the purposes of preserving Robert's memory, to hold this somewhere like the historic Theatre Royal. To be honest, that was actually above our expectations. We never thought that we'd be able to get in here with these guys, and we're really grateful they have let us do this.
And there you have it. That is the venue, and it's a very nice place. Obviously, with the big pillars, made it a little bit more difficult for filming. Obviously.
It did. It's funny because when I spoke to the Washington Arts Centre and they had asked where else the performance was happening, and I mentioned the Newcastle Theatre Royal Educational Space, the first thing they'd said to me is, oh, the ones with the pillars coming from the ceiling. Right. So the pillars kind of had their own fan club, although they did work very well in the jail scene.
They did. We used them. We kind of used them as a prop, which was useful.
Yeah, that was nice. And to be honest, since we're speaking about the jail scene, may I just say that Umar working without a script from the get-go, really just because, and it has to be said, and I know that you're going to be embarrassed for me to say this, but when Umar turned up at auditions, did you not tell me you'll never see that man again?
Well, the thing is, in my defense, he did turn up like very late, and normally when somebody turns up late, you know, you kind of think, oh, well, they're kind of obviously not going to like be part of the process, but he kind of like proved me completely and utterly wrong, because he proved to be one of the most committed out of them all.
He really was, yeah, and totally.
Because I mean, he drove up from, where was it?
Stockport, I believe, in Manchester. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that is commitment. Like Seb was the same, obviously.
Well, Seb obviously coming from Carlisle, and the thing is, you know, it's funny. You meet these people, you offer them an opportunity, and you want in your heart to kind of give them everything they're kind of expecting, because they're volunteering their time, they're giving up their emotional and physical and mental space to you for the purposes of this project, and all you want is just to be able to say to them, yeah, I totally, I can totally help you achieve that, and everything I say is true. And I suppose the reason I mention that is because I was there watching the Newcastle performance, especially the run through, before sort of me and David had decided to act, which wasn't really part of the plan. No. Certainly for Washington, the plan will be to recruit more actors to play those roles. But the funny thing was that I was watching this run through, and there was a moment there where I thought, I'm really glad this all happened, because there was a couple of times with Uma writing to me on the Facebook, or people asking for specific updates about the script, and I kind of thought, this thing could fall apart so easily. Exactly. And as I said before, even the morning of that day, I was like, if anybody turns up today, I'll be quite happy. Because Lee was very late turning up to the venue.
But she still made it.
She did,
She made it, which was very lucky, because it would have been in big trouble if she hadn't.
Oh, yes, we really would have, because we wouldn't have had her James.
I know.
The
thing is, though, we had, like, early in the day, Seb and Ginny were first there. The first two actors. Yeah. When we did the read-through, it was literally just them two. So we had to step in, like, with Liam for the read-through. They were literally the cameraman, the photographer, and the project head helping the two actors that we had doing the read-through.
Oh, yes.
And you're kind of thinking, how the hell are we going to do this with two actors?
Well, this is it. Like, people coming in from the Theatre Royal going, are you okay? Do you need any help with the booking? Are you enjoying your time here? And I'm like, do you have any spare actors?
I don't know.
Is there any in that cupboard over there that you showed me? I would love, instead of maybe the game of operation, I would love a few more actors.
That would have been nice.
But what I suppose in general, I loved the Newcastle performance, and I always said, even at the audition stage, I always said both on and off camera that I wanted the performance to be a growing and an evolving performance. And myself and David, in collaboration with the script that Phoebe has already produced, are going to sit down, have a look at the script, take bits in maybe, take bits out, do a bit of research, really just educate ourselves a little bit about Robert and his life, and adapt that as well to the existing performances, because the actors have given us a lot, and it would be a real shame to let them down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Improve the length as well, because obviously that was one of the big things why we had to step in to, like, create some improv bits.
Totally. And I think, it just goes to show, I mean, there we were, standing in the dressing room. We could hear my voice on the video we'd made for Made in Tyne and Weir. If you've seen that on the YouTube page, you'll know what I'm talking about. And that was playing in the background, and there we were in the dressing room, and it was almost like going out onto the pitch before a football match, kind of getting all riled up, waiting for that moment when we could just kind of jump out, the audience in their seats.
Because we had a good audience.
We did.
About 15 people.
We did.
Which was good.
And I again, people come to see something they know very little about. They give up their free time to see it. Maybe they have a friend in it, or maybe they don't. Maybe they just want to support the work that we're doing. So I was more than happy, and it's like everything, it's like everything we do. We're filming this, for example, in Gateshead Library, which is, we're here today for a film club screening. So, everything we do is based on the willingness of you people out there to look at this, to recognize what we're doing, and thank you very much for that. But also, thank you very much to our actors for what I think was a fantastic Newcastle performance.
They did. I mean, you cannot really emphasise enough how difficult it is to do a theatre performance where you've got the script 4 days. I mean, you'll have 3 months. We give them like 4 days.
And thank you to David for wearing a top on the day, which told us his name, so that under stress I would not forget. This is David.
That's right, that is true. That was a very useful top, you see. I mean,
a very useful top.
Especially considering I had to play the character I was playing.
Yeah.
I think it suited me. Just in case you're wondering, I am David.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. I thought you would have had like a little thing down the bottom or something.
I'll put it on the screen right now so they
Yeah,
can see it.
yeah.
Just to remind
I am
people.
David, with an arrow pointing that way or
Exactly.
something. Yeah, yeah.
No one else matters except David. It's important to be, stressed that, David.
Right.
It's, I did conquer Goliath 2,000 years ago.
I think you're getting slightly off the point.
Yeah.
I
I'm
also.
falling into character.
Yeah.
It was a fun character.
It was.
When you see the performance, you'll understand exactly what I'm doing.
Do you think the I Am David major motion picture is coming to cinemas soon?
It could be. It could very well be. Could very well be.
A new hero for our time, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
I Am David coming soon. And I think, but this element of fun, this element of humour, is brought into it, and I think that's very important as well. Just to take as much as we can out of it, and to say, did we enjoy ourselves? Yes, we did. And I really look forward to Washington. Is there anything specific, I suppose, that you're hoping for Washington?
I would hope to give the actors more of a chance, more of a script that can really delve into the characters and really get Robert's story out there.
That's true. That's
true. I think that was the one thing I would say about Newcastle that we sort of failed a little bit upon, is to really get Robert's story. I mean, obviously you had the introduction where told a bit about it.
Indeed, yeah.
During the performance, it got a little bit lost trying to tell the story.
Yeah.
And I think that was what we really want to make certain in Washington, that we really get Robert's story out there, so that people know who he is, know the life he lived, the times, what it was like, what he had to face, that sort of thing.
And I think that's obviously extremely important. I mean, as I said before, we're filming here right now in Gateshead Library, and Robert indeed was from Gateshead. He walked these streets.
That's right.
This is where he came from, and to be filming here, nearly 100 years since this story, in fact over 100 years since the bulk of this story was told, to be discussing and talking about the kind of person Robert was, and to also, on top of that, be talking about, just every little other thing that comes to mind in regards to the play. Sometimes it sort of hits you like a ton of bricks that it's how important and how sort of embedded in the Northeast. Not how important this project is necessarily. It's important to me, important to you, but on the grand scheme, just how embedded it is in local history.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. And that is the whole point of this project, is to highlight local history into the SLAP Foundation, the website.
Oh, yeah.
And with that said, remember to check out the website, www.slap.foundation.
Indeed.
Which is no .com, literally slap.foundation.
.foundation is the suffix for that email address, so check it out.
Check it out, and we'll be putting up the theatre performance from Newcastle shortly.
We will. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
And then the next time you'll see us, we'll have a little talk about the Washington performance.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And so until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.